Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Roadology. Today's video we have some breaking news. It's actually quite of a big emergency update regarding Battlefield 6 and why we aren't getting more seasonal maps for the season, and we are only getting 2 maps per season. So getting into this video, main reason is because of the time and resources. So if you don't want to watch the whole video, click off. If you want to hear the deep end of the video and catch on with the story of this Battlefield drama and what's going on with Battlefield, hey, keep going. I'm going to give you all the content you need. All right, so the world is raining right now. You know, I said my name, of course. So if you hear it in the background, hey, soothe yourself. All right. So, time and resources. Those are the biggest obstacles in which Battlefield Studios face to make more than 2 maps per season, despite DICE's producer, Alexia Christofi, says Battlefield Studios would love to create way more maps in Battlefield 6. So, that's what BF Bulletin said. You know, that's the source credit. You know, I have to give my credit where it's due. So, Miss Alexa said, in terms of cadence, we would love to create way more maps, but we're just trying to kind of bring things to players as we can and as quickly as we can build them. Christofi also said that limited time modes are here to stay in order to satisfy a wide variety of people playing Battlefield, but they're not going to shut the door if they see something that players like really resonate with. We have such a wide variety of people playing Battlefield. We have the hardcore fan base that have been playing for years that know and love it. And then we've got a bunch of new players that have come in. So trying to have people experience their different content and play different stuff has been important to us. But in terms of things like limited time modes, we listen to the community feedback a lot. If we see something that players like really resonate, we're not going to shut the door and say, okay, well, that's done. So it's kind of like a if on if, right? So, you know, bigger content creators said Battlefield is basically where DICE is working on Battlefield 7, which I kind of agree with because it kind of similar happened to Battlefield 5 on their live resource thing. And then we got 2042 on a new engine, which was very terrible. You know, being with the ride for that, it was very fun. And the thing with that is that they also said that we're not going to give up. Miss Alexa said we're not going to give up on, you know, Battlefield 6. So it's kind of like a tisk toss, right, or whatever. About we might have some more changes that's good for Battlefield 6 and some bad changes. Well, not some bad changes, but still like more continuing on Battlefield 6 and updating the game, right? So the thing with how I've been in labs, you know, in this previous playtest, you know, back then, you know, before this actual build, right? I feel like they are just testing how the movement that people in the casuals or the Reddit community is saying how the movement should be. Because honestly, I don't see why the builds that I played was way different than what we got in the final form, and it's not necessarily a big issue, right? Well, it is a big issue, but not a big issue on why we couldn't have the thing in the first place, right? So the thing is, the whole player base, everybody, competitive players, casual wanting to be good, competitive wanting to be better, whatever, we are all advocating for the main thing, which is the movement now. And it's been going on since the beginning of the game. The main issue and the main talked issue of Battlefield 6 is the movement. How many movement topics and issues have we discussed in Battlefield 6 already? It's been about 10. It's been about 10, 11, 15. And the thing is, I want to talk about the hardcore community. So in BF4, hardcore was pretty interesting. I played a little bit of hardcore back then. And I can say that people like immersion, which is why people like Battlefield 1, and they tend to play in an immersive style. So I don't see why we can't, you know, the people who actually want the game to have fluidity can't have the movement, you know, be how like BF4 was, or how I experienced it in the last 2 playtests, for the other players to have like a good time and not figuring out if their computer sucks or their keyboard sucks and have to buy new things, right? Because their inputs don't work, or whatever the cause is, right? Or a new controller for the Xbox or PlayStation players and thinking that they're bad because the game doesn't work for them, right? We have a 1 point something million tournament, and we have to have movement with laser beam gunplay like the KTS and other 1,000 to 500 velocity weapons that's you know, I heard that wasn't, you know, comparable to BF4. And to say it is true, of course, because obviously looked at it as well. It's like, it's just like, why are we messing with something that can be messed with? Obviously, we need to have movement in a battle royale and everything like that. So going off topic, speaking on the total cause is that emergent players are going to play how they want to play. They're going to play how the game is intended to play. I don't see why we need to change the movement for everybody when in actuality everybody is going to move how they want to move. Right? If we have regular BF4 gunplay or movement and gunplay, it's going to be the same exact thing. Everybody in my stream, other people's stream, people do not move. And even in now, it's even worse now because you can't make any movements. You can't go into the point. You can't push out the point. You can't do anything for your team. You can't res fast enough. You can't do anything regarding to having to move quick on your feet. It's sluggish. You can't res. You can't do anything, right? And it's like, I don't see why all these bugs are hard to fix. Gunplay feels a little worse a little bit. I don't know if it's just me on my POV, but it feels like the recoil, you have to like control it more a little bit. It's a little bit more bouncy. That's just on my POV. Maybe I just need a new mouse or something. Whatever. It's still like, again, the main topic is just the movement. And it's not that hard to realize that people aren't going to change with the movement unless, you know, they want to get better at the game. People who want to change the movement do not want to get better at all. But obviously it's a broken record because, you know, it happened 7 years in a row, right? Like regarding to the $1 million tournament, the hardcore players, portal servers, you know, of course, God forbid those get like, you know, 25 hertz or whatnot because like they're still not fixing 60 hertz. It's just, what's the issue? Like, we're just going downhill. 90,000 current players already said that was going way back down to 30,000 or 40,000, and I was correct anyway. Because, like, you can't make an update ruining everything and then putting out a freaking movement test build that wasn't even in the actual build and then actually like just keeping it in instead of like removing it. And that's the final thing I'm gonna say about DICE, right? DICE, we actually need to move. Y'all actually need to move quick on these updates now. The one thing about them being in their seats, twisting their chairs and biting nails and fingernails and leaving them on the floor, it's just like, what's going on? It's crazy. That's literally all I have to say for this video. DICE need to make a quick move. They either need to revert back to the labs that I felt and other people felt that was in with me, and just know that it doesn't make sense. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say for this video. Hope you like, share, and subscribe. Worldology on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. That's where I'll be streaming at. Excuse me. And just know that I'll give out the best content I can for y'all. It takes time for it, you know, obviously since this game is even worse and I have to take a little bit more breaks, and you know, it's just how it is. So yeah, Worldology, and I'm out.